Hi, this is Math for Real People. Now what I want you to do during these videos is I want you to stay focused. If you lose focus, keep watching and then replay the video until you get it. So what I'm going to do today, right now, is I'm going to show you how to solve an equation for one variable with one step. So in this case, I'm just going to show you when a variable is being multiplied by one number. Now you might look at this and say, I have no idea what this means, or you might know exactly what it means. Let me just explain it so everybody's with us. You're saying what times 2 equals 10. This is what this is telling us or asking us. So you are trying to figure out what times 2 equals 10. You should already know this answer, but we're going to do it again with a harder problem so you can see why you would actually do this. Because right now you're saying, I don't need to do this because I know. Well, let's look at this and make sure. So, the first thing you need to do, and I know I told you that you were already solving for x with multiplication, that's being with a variable being multiplied. Well, you're not always going to know that. So you want to look at your variable and you want to say, what is happening to my variable? Because I want it by itself. So what's happening to it? What operation? In this case, it's being multiplied. So that's always your first question. What is happening? And what is happening, you're only thinking about your variable, so I'm not going to write that. I'm going to abbreviate that. So what's happening? It's being multiplied. Great. So now what's the next step? You need to undo that. Well, undo means do the opposite. So do the opposite of what you just figured out. What is the opposite of multiplication? You got it. Division. So you divide and it gets rid of it because 2 divided by 2 is 1. So you'll be left with 1x on that side. That's great. You wanted to solve what 1x was. So you look at the other side, and whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. Why? Why can't I just be done? Well, an equal sign is like a balance. So if you take something away from one side, you have to take it away from the other. As long as it's balanced, as long as it's equal, you're good. So you can multiply one side, both sides by the same thing, subtract, divide, whatever happens, they need to be equal. So that's our step 3. Step 3, whatever you do to one side, so you do the opposite. And then do the same to the other side. So we divided by 2 on that side, we have to divide by 2 on this side, and look, it's 5. I hope you knew that. Now the question is, do you have to leave it as 1, x, or can you just say x? Well, you know what, it doesn't matter. You can say I have 1 apple or I have an apple. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. So quickly, let's think about what we did with less of me talking. We looked at the problem. We said, what's happening? It's being multiplied. We knew we needed to do the opposite. We divided by 2. We need to do the same thing with both sides. We divided that side by 2. Done and done. Great, now you're saying, okay, great, I already knew that answer. Now tell me when I need to know it. Well, here's a situation that you might need to know it. Let's say you can save $50 a week, and you want to buy something for $325. Instead of having to go up to your calendar and count 50, 100, I mean, that's almost kind of easy, but if you don't want to do that, this would make it much easier. You say, I'm multiplying, so now I need to divide. So divide both sides by 50. That turns into 1W, and that turns into 6.5. So to get to $325, you need to save up for 6.5 weeks. So really it could be 7 weeks. It all just depends on when you get paid, right? So that is where you'd use it, and you can look at a calendar and count out 7 weeks instead of having to count out the amount. And of course, numbers get harder and harder. So I hope you enjoyed solving for one variable when it's being multiplied. Thank you.